Hey, English 101. Welcome to week 3, even if it is a day late. Let's get started. All right, so in talking with so many of you over the last couple of days via Zoom and email, I want to start out today with a couple of just housekeeping notes. The first is about accessing things here in Brightspace. I would like to think that you've noticed in all of the videos that I've sent you that the bright space that you're looking at now is the version that appears when you were logged into a computer. Doesn't matter if it's a laptop or a desktop, but this is the basic use of Brightspace. This is where you have the best access and the most access to the tools that are available to you. There are a few of you that have emailed me a couple of times and said, this isn't here. What I have found that for the most part, that only happens when you are not using the incomplete version of Brightspace. Again, the one that you see in front of you now, the one that appears when you actually log into a computer or a laptop. A lot of you choose to do work on the Brightspace version that comes with the app Pulse. Pulse can be helpful for a lot of things. It is not the complete version of Brightspace, so you cannot access everything on there. You will miss things if that is the only place that you are accessing our course materials. So if you are one of the few people that are really still struggling to find things, my suggestions to you are this. One, log in on an actual computer so that you can follow along with the way it looks when I'm presenting it in the video. Two, take your device to the Technology Access Office. There's one located in the library. They will sit down with you and explain how to get to things on your particular device, as all of you are using different things. It's really important to use this tool to be successful in any online class. Second housekeeping thing, I'm going to click up here at the top of our toolbar that says grades. Now, I don't have any grades, clearly, because I'm the professor of the class. But by now, you should have scores for discussion board number 1 and number 2. So you'll see here where it says DB1 and DB2. If you have a 0 for a discussion board, 0 out of 15, that means you didn't complete it. And as it says in our course outline, we take attendance in this class based on your weekly discussion board. I only give zeros if you did nothing. If you did something, even if it was incorrect or poorly done, you will get some kind of points. So if you have a 0, you know that there was nothing posted. So you might want to look at that just to make sure that what you are doing is matching up what I am receiving as your instructor. Okay, so with that said, let's get to the week 3 items. I want to start by going to course tools and discussions, since we were just talking about them in regards to attendance. Again, to get to them, course tools, the drop-down box, and I click discussions. We're on week 3. You'll see that there are 3 videos posted here for you to do a rhetorical analysis. I'm looking for you to think about the difference between ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos, right? It's credibility. Pathos, emotions, and logos, logic. In which ways do you see these 3 rhetorical appeals working in these videos? So in the message box, you'll just tell me what you think was effective and what you think they used and how. In the subject line, tell me the name of the video that you're choosing. And then once you post, right, I want you to respond to at least 3 of your classmates that chose a different commercial than you did. And then as always, I just want to point out why I'm here. At the very bottom of all of our discussions is a link directly to our Google Class space. It's also on our content link, but it's several places. It's on our announcements link, so you can always get to it as easily as possible. Because we're here, I'm going to go ahead and click it. This takes us to our Google Class space where, of course, your calendar, your course guide is, the assignment and examples, and most importantly this week, your group drafting documents. So I am going to start by clicking on the calendar so we can just overview what you should be doing. It's week 3, so it's the first thing at the top. You'll see that you should be working with your group members this week. We're continuing on with our E2. By now, I would like to think that you've all gotten to the point where you can communicate with each other and that you are working on picking out a community that you want to focus on. Some of you all are way ahead and you already have drafts and your proposal finished. Those of you who have not gotten that far because you got to a slower start, then this week you do need to finish that proposal and get something in your Google Doc so that when it comes to our conferences, we will have something to look at and talk about together to make sure everybody's on the right track and everybody knows what they are doing. Again, the link here to sign up for your conferences is here. Before you do that, however, you have to talk to each other. I am happy that a lot of you are doing that now and doing it effectively in a variety of spaces. So pick a date and time that works for you. One person needs to sign up. And then next week, I'll be sending out all the information for how to log into Zoom. It's actually already posted on your course guide, but I'll definitely send it out in an additional email. All right, the last thing here just says, in addition to your discussion board, again, you're doing that every week, you need to read part 1, pages 43 through 52 in your textbook. That's it. There's not a lot going on this week in the class. Every week we have the discussion board. This week, your task is working with your groups, picking your subject, deciding who's writing what, and getting started. This essay is fairly short when you think that you're dividing it by several people. Each of you are only going to be tasked with, at least initially in your draft, writing a couple of hundred words, right? So that you should be able to easily get done before your conferences begin next week. Okay. Last thing that I just want to show you is about accessing materials for your group. So first, I'm going to course tools. Again, right in our toolbar at the top, it drops down the list. I'm going to hit groups. As I explained in our video last week, right? If you want to see the members that were assigned to your group, you have to come to the groups page and click where it says members. So for this class in E2, in group 2, there are 4 members. If I click on the 4, it gives me their name. If I want to email my group members, all I have to do is say, hey, there's 3 people in group 1 and click the link that says email. It will automatically populate. You can type in whatever you want, right? So I wanted to point that out to you, as well as you all have discussions. Some groups are choosing to use the discussions, others are not. So you'll see, and this is just a class that I'm using for example, we have 2 groups that have nothing posted in their discussion board and 2 groups that have a bunch of stuff posted in their discussion board. What I've found is some groups prefer to use discussion and some groups actually prefer to use the docs in the Google Class space, right? Before your conference, no matter where you might be working, some groups chose to do their own thing, and that's fine. In your group drafting document, I am going to need to see your proposal section, right? So right here in the middle where it says proposal draft, right? This is where you're telling me instructions are right here to the side. This is the community that we chose, right? This is what we think we're going to title the paper. This is what our goals are. And this is who's doing what. So-and-so is doing the intro. So-and-so is doing paragraph 4. So-and-so is doing the descriptive background paragraph about the organization. Whatever the things that you have decided are going to go into this essay, whatever they are, tell me that in the proposal first. And then below, where it says essay draft, is where each of you, according to what you all assigned yourselves, are going to pop in the paragraphs that you write. Ideally, by the time of your conference, I would like you to have in this document that I gave you, your proposal and part of your essay draft. All right, I think that covers everything that I wanted to share with you all today. Um, okay. And with that, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email me. And I'll end by saying that I know some of your groups have not had the participation that you would have liked. All final decisions about who are in the groups will take place on Thursday. Anyone who has not participated in the doc or the discussion board by then will be removed from the groups. So, for that means for the rest of you, move forward, right? Don't wait on anybody. The people in the room are the people that get to make the decisions. And in this case, it's a virtual room, but the same concept applies. Good luck.